My favorite teacher is Mr. Mullenkamp. He has a really cool beard and always dresses up really nice.
Alright, Nick, who's your favorite teacher and why?
I'm going to go with Mr. Roberts because we have a lot of fun in his class and he's a great influence, and we like to fool around when he's not looking. So that's pretty much it.
You go.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Shank.
Who's your favorite teacher and why?
My favorite teacher is Mr. Shank because he's very intellectual and gets deep, and I just enjoy his class. So yeah.
My favorite teachers are Mr. Bell, Mr. Rohr, and Mr. Shank.
Sweet.
Awesome.
My favorite teacher is the lunch lady because she gives us good food.
Okay, my favorite teacher is Mrs. Steen because she's a great person with a great personality. No, that was better. And she's awesome.
Favorite teacher and why?
I'd have to say Mrs. Nemi because she's always brought a smile to my face and she's been a really great teacher overall.
I like Mr. Mullenkamp because he's smart.
Shank because he's really intelligent about the Bible and I always look forward to going to his class. And Mrs. Steen because I appreciate her love of language and the joy she has while she's teaching.
My favorite teacher is Steen because she has a really cute house and I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yes.
Alright, well, without a doubt, Mr. Vanderkolk is definitely my favorite teacher.
As bad as that is, that's going to be priceless for this video. This is humiliating.
It's not humiliating. Do I smell like coffee though?
You smell like coffee?
Yeah, a little bit, right?
I don't know.
Alright, well anyways. Yep. I'd say definitely Mr. Shank is my favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Shank because he's taught us how to defend our faith when we go out into the real world, and he's a funny guy, and shout out Mr. Shank.
Teacher is Mrs. Nemi because she dishes it out like the rest of us, and I told her I would say she was my favorite.
Your favorite teacher and why?
From this year, Mr. Shank's been really great. He's really guided us in Bible class and taught me a whole lot about worldview. But from way back in middle school, I'd say it had to be Mr. Duckworth because he was the best PE teacher that also ran cross country and all that good stuff, and taught history.
Thank you.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Shank.
There you go.
He's awesome.
Much better. Did you get that, Quinn? Did you get it? Okay.
And Mrs. Strayer because she puts up with 6-hour geometry.
Mr. Anderson and Mr. Shank are probably my favorite teachers just for actually teaching me how to study because I actually have to work hard in their class.
We really like Mrs. Nemi because she's just kind of nice and she cares about me, and I just want to make her feel better.
I like Mr. Anderson because he's my bro.
Favorite teacher and why?
I think it's Mrs. Lucky. When I first time I came to Northwest Christian, she helped me a lot about the language problem and like how the homework can be perfect and how can we fixing the grammar in English, and we talk and we communicate a lot about the Chinese culture, and she really taking patience in it, and I really appreciate that.
Mr. Anderson.
Why?
Because I really like him and he was my mentor and he did a really good job and he's a good guy.
Mr. Vanderkolk because he's cool, I guess. I don't know.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Anderson because he just all around rocks and he's just the best and he's better than any other teacher.
Your favorite teacher and why?
Ms. Schwarzman is my favorite teacher because she is a great mentor and she is just fantastic in general.
Thank you.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Shank because...
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Mine's Mr. Mullenkamp!
Because he's funny and his jokes are dry and I like dry jokes. No offense.
Teacher.
Mr. Shank
Why?
because he really knows what he's talking about.
Great point.
Mrs. Droege because she's really funny and she's really nice and she cares about the students.
Who is my favorite teacher and why? I don't like any of the teachers here because they make work for the guidance department. We have awesome teachers. I can't even select one of them because they're all so amazing, other than Mr. Shank.
My favorite teachers at North Point Christian would have to be Mrs. Nemi, Mr. Vanderkolk,
Mrs. Droby, Mr. Shank, Mr. Bell, Miss Strayer, Mrs. Strayer, Mr. Molenkamp, Mr. T. Did I say Mr. Anderson? And that's just about all the time we have because I reached the end of the hallway.